Right then, everybody, Manchester United lose 2-0 away from home against Wolverhampton. And Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to talk about you because what a shambolic performance it is by him. And he has to be called out because I think he cost us the game. It was a game where, listen, yes, we lose 2-0, but that goal comes right at the end. It was a game which we have to impact. I thought the only player who did well was Ugarte, and that was it. Everyone else was poor, and he's even going to be suspended for the game against Newcastle on Monday. So very, very frustrating. And Amrim's going to be fuming. But Bruno Fernandes, let's talk about him. Red card hasn't been good at all for Manchester United, really. Now, yes, he gets goals and assists, but is he that sort of player? You look at Cunha at Wolves. He was the best player on the pitch by a mile. And ultimately, Manchester United now are 14th, 18 games played, 22 points, minus 3 goal difference. And Wolves, listen, they're going to be happy with the result. We knew it was going to be tough, but the ability of some of these players is very, very poor. And Amorim is very, very frustrating. You can see him there saying to the players, go and say to the fans, because the fans deserve a lot more, because some of these players' performances are very, very poor. As I said, Cunha is running the show. Get him to Manchester United ASAP. But ultimately, did we do enough to get the points? Absolutely not. I think in the first half, listen, we actually weren't bad. We created a few chances. Bruno had a few. Players had a few chances, but other than that, we just simply didn't do enough. In that second half, 88 seconds into that second half, Bruno Fernandes makes a weird challenge. Listen, the ref was a bit dodgy. I think he gave a Euro like a card in like 3 minutes or something like that. But for me, Cunha was the man, and get him to Manchester United ASAP. As I said, Bruno Fernandes, disgrace. What are you doing? Embarrassing by him. He's going to miss the next game. It is frustrating, but you really have to think about where do you find Bruno in this team, because he's been very, very sloppy for the last couple of games now for Manchester United. Another red card. He's got 3 this season. Very, very, very poor. And as I said, you have to criticise these players because they haven't shown up to it. The standards, the ability. And I'm fuming because some of these players' performances, they get away with it week in, week out, and they're not punished. And they're not criticised enough for me. Like, they're professional players, they're international players, and they can't do the basics. I mean, our next 3 games are Newcastle, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Like, we're out of the Carabao Cup. We concede another goal from a corner, which is disgraceful. Another sloppy goal from a corner, straight in from Cunha. A Garnacho error to lead the goal. Very, very poor. The away end's empty. Listen, for me, this is not an Amorim. This is on the players. Some of the individual performances absolutely cost us. The mentality of the players are shocking. Throwing Amorim under the bus already. And you can see that, listen, Amorim's not going to go. But some of these players really have to be criticised because they're simply not doing enough. As I said, they have to be criticised. Actions have consequences. And some of these players ultimately have to go. Surely Ineos will have to spend because, listen, Dalot, as I said in every game, the last few games, he gets a lot of the ball but isn't doing enough with it. Attackers, the attack just looks... I'm sick of Højlund as well. Like, what is the guy doing? He's always moaning. He was moaning at Ahmad. Listen, Ahmad didn't get the ball to him, but Højlund, you're not doing much in the game. You're holding up the ball, but you're not even doing it fantastic. Some of the technical ability was very, very poor. I think when Anthony actually came on, he was probably one of the best players for Manchester United. An actual sub who impacted the game. He had a few shots, put a few crosses in. And I actually think at part, when we did go down to 10 men, we did actually look more promising. We looked like we could actually score a goal. We looked like we could actually string passes together. But other than that, we simply didn't do enough. And listen, Amorim's going to be fuming. This is not acceptable. Wolves have beaten Manchester United 2-0. And Bruno for me is the one. Like, what are you doing? Like, we're relegation fodder at this minute. It's simply just not good enough. And Manchester United players have to be criticised. Bruno, listen, whether it's a red card or not, you shouldn't be doing that, Bruno Fernandes. And we've seen him get sent off before. Bruno sent off again. Like, he's rushed to making these silly challenges, and when it's not going well, listen, it's 88 seconds. If it's not Manchester United conceding a goal early in the second half or conceding from a set piece, it's shocking. It's making a silly decision getting sent off. Listen, the goal, as I said, is from a corner. And yes, it is score goals, but if we don't get that goal from a corner, I genuinely think, listen, when the red card happened, I was ready to turn the game off. We knew it was over, but I think we did try, but ultimately it's not good enough. Let me talk about Ugarte, because I actually think he was very, very good. His performance was fantastic. He looked sharp, he was confident on the ball, carrying the ball through midfield, looked very good in possession. But he's suspended for the next game due to yellow card, so we're going to miss him out in that one. I think he is a big miss. He might not be the most technical, but can get around the pitch. I thought his interceptions early on in the game, keeping Cunha quiet, were absolutely fantastic. But other than that, he struggled as well. Let's not get it confused here. But very, very frustrating. Manchester United fans will be livid because it's unacceptable. Some of the performances were just disgraceful, and we have to criticise the players. And Bruno Fernandes, red card. If you want to look at the stats, I'm not even going to bother. But Cunha, for me, he was the one. He passed his audition. Get him to Manchester United as soon as you can, because he was absolutely quality again on the pitch. You can see Amorim having a word with him. Listen, some of these players have to go. We've conceded 19 goals in 10 games. Like, players are letting down this manager. And listen, you want to look at Onana. Listen, Onana, for me, he gets sandwiched by two players. He should have been stronger, but the players shouldn't be able to impede the keeper. Distance shouldn't be allowed, and I can understand why the players were frustrating. But listen, we're 14th in the league, 8 points off the relegation. We can't enter the relegation zone, can we? Surely we can't. But yeah, we lose. Embarrassing performance. 8 points off the relegation zone, and yeah, a shocking performance. Listen, let me know your thoughts. Very crap performance by Manchester United. Things haven't changed. The players letting us down. Like, what are we doing? As I said, Højlund, I'm very frustrated with him because some of the petulance they're really seeing. I mean, Bruno getting sent off and Amorim doesn't even acknowledge him. That was very, very poor. This is the first time United have failed to score on Boxing Day since 2015. Like, disgrace. And it's a Boxing Day mess. Bruno sent off. This is the worst I've seen from Manchester United in a long time. But listen, let me know your thoughts. Ugarte is the only player you can really give him a bit of credit, and that's really about it. But poor day at the office by Manchester United. If I was Amorim, I'd be livid. Bruno cost us the game because, listen, it was 2-0, but the goals come from a corner after the red card, and ultimately it's just right at the end on the counter when United are going for it. But shocking. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Peace.